Hey everyone, this is Brandon the Beard, and today we are doing the first of two reboot videos for a Dungeons & Dragons character build. With the release of Tasha's Cauldron of Everything, subclasses and other options that were once part of Unearthed Arcana are now officially canon, so some characters needed to be rethought to reflect that. We'll start with Brigitte from Overwatch, a true support character that can still give as well as she takes. Unlike previous videos, I will be breaking down this rebuild one level at a time. Before we begin, I'd like to put a slight plug out for the Hsin Yung I-Chuan School of Tai Chi and Meimen Qigong over here in Orlando, Florida. We have our own YouTube channel now, so please check out the link in the description below. For stats, we're going to change things up from the original build. I originally set it up Wisdom as a priority, as well as Strength. This time around, we're making our most important stats Wisdom and Intelligence, but if you're going to point by or do the standard point array, make sure your strength is 13 or higher. Constitution after that, followed by dexterity, and we'll dump charisma. For race, we are sticking with variant human, but we are changing up everything else. In the original build, our feat of choice was shield training, which would allow for the shield to be a spellcasting focus. Unfortunately, this feat didn't make it into Tasha's, and we need spellcasting and proficiency with heavy armor from the beginning. We're going to solve one of those problems now with the heavily armored feat, giving you proficiency with heavy armor and +1 to your strength. For your 2 free points, bump up your wisdom and intelligence, and take perception as your skill of choice. Finally, for background, take the clan crafter background for history, insight, and proficiency with smith's tools. In my original build for Brigitte, we kicked things off as a fighter, but without shield training feat, we had to find a way to make spellcasting as immediate of an option as possible. So this time around, we are beginning as a cleric. Take medicine and religion as your skills of choice, and make sure you get the chainmail, because you're proficient and it's stronger. Combine that with the shield you get as part of the standard equipment, and you have a starting AC of 18 at level 1. For your divine domain, the original unity domain is now the peace domain. Your first level domain spells are heroism and sanctuary. First level peace clerics get implement of peace, giving you proficiency in insight, performance, or persuasion, dealer's choice. Also level 1, you get Emboldening Bond, which is the same as it was in Unearthed Arcana except for the time limit. What originally lasts an hour now only lasts 10 minutes. For our starting list of spells, take the following cantrips: Sacred Flame, Guiding Bolt, and Spare the Dying. I originally wanted to give her guidance or resistance, but with Emboldening Bond you get all of that and more without maintaining concentration. For first level spells, I decided to go purely support: Cure Wounds, Healing Word, and Shield of Faith. Next, we're going to take our original dip into Fighter. Just like before, take protection for your fighting style. You can use a reaction to intercede your shield between an ally within 5 feet of you and an attacker targeting them, causing the attack to be made with disadvantage. Just like our original build for Brigitte, second level fighters get their action Surge, which is standard. And also like the original build, we're going to take Battle Master as our martial archetype. First trait is Student of War, where you become proficient with one type of artisan's tool of your choice. Since we already have smith's tools, it's dealer's choice. Battle Masters also get that Combat Superiority, which gives you 4 superiority die, which are d8s, that can be used to perform 3 maneuvers of your choice. Like the original build, we're taking Pushing Attack for that nice shield shove, and Sweeping Attack to hit multiple enemies at once with a melee weapon. What we are changing is the third maneuver, Bait and Switch from Tasha's Cauldron. If there's an ally being targeted within 5 feet of you, on your turn you can expend a superiority die and move at least 5 feet so that you're next to them, and that superiority die roll gets added to the AC of yourself or your ally. Now remember when I said to make intelligence your next best stat after wisdom? That's because we're going to be foregoing some cleric levels to dip into Artificer. In addition to gaining proficiency with Thieves' Tools and Tinker's Tools, first level Artificers get Magical Tinkering. Using said tools, you give a tiny magical object one of 4 different magical properties: shedding bright light, playing a recorded message, continually emitting an odor or sound, or creating a static visual effect on its surface. The effect lasts forever, or until you choose to cancel it. The number of objects you can affect is equal to your intelligence modifier. For your Artificer cantrips, take Thorn Whip and Mending. For first level spells, I recommend Absorb Elements and Tasha's Caustic Brew. You shoot a stream of acid 5 feet wide and 30 feet long in any direction, and each creature in that line makes a dexterity saving throw, taking 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns until it uses an action to scrape or wash the acid off. Second level Artificers get Artificer infusions, special enhancements you can apply to one thing at a time to make them better. Enhanced Defense adds 1 to the AC bonus of a suit of armor or a shield. Enhanced Weapon gives +1 to attack and damage rolls with a weapon. It doesn't seem like much, but now your AC is 19, which is pretty awesome, until your DM gives you some adamantine armor, then you would be a literal tank. Now, part of Brigitte's backstory is that she built her own armor. So, as we have dipped into Artificer, I felt that we had to take an Artificer specialty, and guess what? I went with Armorer. Got a problem? Let me know in the comments. As an Armorer, you get Magic Missile and Thunder Wave. While Magic Missile is always great, Thunder Wave actually replaced Shield from the Unearthed Arcana. I'm not overly pleased with that because I wanted to have more straight defensive magic with a little shield combined with Shield of Faith. You also get the Arcane Armor. Your armor is now a spellcasting focus for your Artificer spells, it no longer has a strength requirement, and it covers you from head to toe and can't be removed unless you say so. You can even retract or deploy a helmet as a bonus action for some Iron Man action. Part of the Arcane Armor, just as it was for the Power Armor in Unearthed Arcana, is the Armor model. You get 2 choices. I went with the Guardian model because it seems most in character for Brigitte. Firstly, you get Thunder Gauntlets, which lets you deal 1d8 thunder damage with your armored hands, and a hit creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against anyone besides you until your next turn. I should also mention that for the attack and damage roll of this weapon, you get to add your intelligence modifier to each instead of strength or dexterity. So if you really invested in that stat, get ready to do some serious face punching. Guardians also get a defensive field, adding temporary hit points equal to your Artificer level a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus per long rest. Let's jump back over to Cleric for the rest of this build. So at second level, Clerics get their first use of Channel Divinity. And thanks to Tasha's Cauldron, we now have 3 different options available to us. Harness Divine Power lets you regain an expended spell slot of a level equal to half your proficiency bonus rounded up. Turn Undead lets you force a Wisdom save on every undead creature within 30 feet of you. If they fail, they're turned for 1 minute or until they take damage. While turned, a creature has to spend its turn moving as far from you as it can. Can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you, can't take reactions, and can only use its action to dash or escape an effect that prevents it from moving. If there's nowhere to move, it takes the dodge action instead. Finally, as a Peace Cleric, we get Balm of Peace. Move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks, and every creature you come within 5 feet of restores HP equal to 2d6 plus your Wisdom modifier. Third level Clerics of Peace get Aid and Warding Bond. They also get access to second level spells, such as Lesser Restoration and Spiritual Weapon. I know Brigitte doesn't really form spectral weapons that she can move with her mind, but I was going for a power build with as much flavoring to the character as possible. Fourth level Clerics get their first ability score improvement or feat. We will cover those later. For now, let's talk about adding a cantrip to our Cleric list. Toll the Dead, which deals a d8 of damage on a creature full health, or a d12 if they aren't. At 5th level, our Turn Undead ability becomes Destroy Undead, which lets us automatically destroy any undead affected by Turn Undead if their challenge rating is 1/2 or less. We also get 3rd level spells. Choose from Mass Healing Word, Spirit Guardians, and Spirit Shroud from Tasha's Cauldron. As a Peace Cleric, we also get new spells, Beacon of Hope, and Sending. 6th level Peace Clerics gain access to the Protective Bond. When one creature who is affected by your emboldening bond is about to take damage, the other bonded creature can use their reaction to teleport to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the bonded ally and take all that damage instead. At 7th level of Cleric, our Peace Domain gives us Aura of Purity and Otaluk's Resilient Sphere. For standard Cleric spells at 4th level, I would recommend either Death Ward or Guardian of Faith. You can choose whichever one you want, though personally I would go with Guardian of Faith to set it and forget it. In addition to our next ability score improvement or feat, our Destroy Undead increases to a challenge rating of 1 at Cleric level 8. Now, as a Peace Cleric, you would normally get an ability called Potent Spellcasting, but I felt this didn't really fit in with the Brigitte character. You can do Potent Spellcasting if you want to, but I went for an alternative option, the Blessed Strikes option from Tasha's Cauldron. When you damage a creature with a weapon attack or a cantrip, it takes an extra 1d8 radiant damage. You can only use this once per turn, but it's still a neat little boost. When you're hitting someone with your weapon, it's the weapon damage, plus your strength, plus 1 for enhanced weapon, plus 1d8 radiant for blessed strikes. It's a lot of damage at one shot. 9th level Peace Clerics get Greater Restoration and Rari's Telepathic Bond. We also get 5th level spells. Choose from Mass Cure Wounds, Flame Strike, or Holy Weapon at your leisure. Remember, you can swap spells out during rests, so don't feel like you're stuck with these. 10th level is where things get interesting with Divine Intervention. Employ your deity for divine assistance using an action and rolling percentile die. If you roll higher than your cleric level, your god of choice intervenes, either applying the effect of a spell or some other action that is decided by your DM. If successful, you can't use it again for 7 days. If you fail, you can use it after a long rest. We also get another cantrip, take Word of Radiance for more close-range damage. 11th level Clerics increase their challenge rating for Destroy Undead from 1 to 2, and gain access to 6th level spells. Choose from Sunbeam for damaging, Heal for support, and Word of Recall for that quick retreat option. At level 12, we have our option for another ability score improvement or a feat, and nothing else. So let's move on. 13th level Clerics get access to 7th level spells. So choose from Conjure Celestial or Firestorm, Regenerate or Resurrection. Regenerate or Resurrection would be ideal for a support character, since the goal here is to heal or bring back allies. Our capstone is Cleric level 14, with Destroy Undead now capable of destroying undead of challenge rating 3. Now, since we are multi-classing spellcasters, we have to take a look at how many exact spell slots we're getting. Double check page 164 and 165 of the player's handbook to confirm, but starting with cleric levels, we add all of those together, that's 14. We add half of our artificer levels rounded up, so 1 and 1.5 rounded up, that's going to be 2. And a third of our fighter levels rounded down. We've got 3 fighter levels, take 1/3, that's 1. So 14 plus 2 plus 1, a combined spellcasting level of 17. Now on page 165 of the player's handbook, that means we get spell slots up to level 9, but that doesn't mean we can cast 9th level spells, as our maximum spellcasting ability is identified in the level breakdown charts for each class. 1st level for Artificer spells, and 7th level for Cleric spells. Now, with 3 total opportunities to take an ability score improvement or take a feat, prioritize getting your intelligence and your wisdom up as high as possible. These are your spellcasting modifiers. Spellcasting is going to be your chief responsibility. If those are already high enough, as high as you want them, or if they're already capped, maybe you rolled really good, and you want to focus on feats, I would recommend choosing from the following. Warcaster, so you can have a weapon and a shield in each hand. Durable, Observant, or Tough, to help you not only stay in advantage during the fight, but also to keep your HP high. Or the Shield Master feat, which gives you more options with your shield, including shoving actions, or protecting allies a little bit better, or being able to protect yourself on dexterity saving throws. What did you think of this video? Would you be okay with Brigitte being an Artificer? Do you feel like there should be more Cleric levels as there originally were, or do you think there should be less? Leave a message in the comments. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and remember, all will be well. Just keep moving forward.